The vast emptiness of space shimmered as the Zarkonian mining vessel Rockbreaker dropped out of hyperdrive. Its sleek obsidian hull reflected the dim light of a yellow star, one of billions in the Empire's territory, unremarkable save for the potential riches it promised. Captain Vexler's tentacles twitched with anticipation as he gazed at the blue-green planet on the viewscreen. "Scan for mineral deposits," he commanded, his voice a guttural whisper that echoed in the ship's bridge. The ship's AI chirped in response. "Scanning, Captain. Preliminary results show significant deposits of rare earth elements in the planet's crust." Vexler's mouthparts clicked in satisfaction. Another routine mission, another planet to strip of resources for the ever-hungry Empire. He had done this 1,000 times before, and this insignificant world would be no different. "Deploy the mining probes," he ordered, settling back into his gelatinous command chair. As the probes pierced the planet's atmosphere, alarms suddenly blared across the bridge. The ship shuddered violently, throwing crew members to the floor. "Status report." Vexler bellowed, his tentacles flailing for purchase. The science officer, Zalter, fought to regain her footing. "Captain, the probes. They've activated some kind of planetary defense system." "Impossible," Vexler spat. "This world is uninhabited. Our long-range scans showed no signs of intelligent life or advanced technology." Yet the evidence was undeniable. A shimmering energy field enveloped the planet, pulsing with an otherworldly blue light. The mining probes, now little more than space debris, drifted lifelessly around the Rockbreaker. As the crew watched in stunned silence, the energy field began to flicker and change. Holographic projections materialized in the planet's upper atmosphere, visible even from the ship's orbit. "By the Emperor's 13 hearts," Zalter whispered, her compound eyes wide with wonder. "Captain, you need to see this." The viewscreen zoomed in on the holographic display. Images flashed by in rapid succession. Gleaming cities that stretched to the skies, vessels that soared between the stars, and beings that walked on two legs, their faces eerily similar to so many species in the galaxy, yet uniquely their own. "It's a historical record," Zalter said, her voice filled with awe. "This planet, it once held a civilization of incredible advancement." The images change, showing devastation on a planetary scale. Wars that scorched the skies, natural disasters that reshaped continents, and finally, a mass exodus of the planet's population into great arcs that disappeared into the depths of space. "What happened to them?" Vexler demanded, his earlier bravado replaced by genuine curiosity. Zalter shook her head. "Unknown, Captain. But based on the planetary cycles shown in the holograms, this record is at least 10,000 standard years old." As the crew watched, transfixed by the planet's tragic history, a junior officer cleared her throat nervously. "Captain, I'm detecting anomalous energy readings from the planet's surface. They don't match any known natural phenomena." Vexler's eyes narrowed. Meaning, sir," the officer continued, her voice barely above a whisper, "there might still be something alive down there." A heavy silence fell over the bridge, broken only by the soft beeping of consoles. Vexler's mind raced with the implications. The discovery of a long-lost advanced civilization could mean promotions, riches, perhaps even a seat on the Imperial Council. But if there were survivors? The Empire's protocol was clear. Report the finding and wait for the bureaucracy to make its lumbering decision. It could take cycles before any real action was taken, by which time some other ambitious captain might swoop in and claim the glory. Vexler made his decision. "Prep a stealth shuttle," he ordered. "Zalter, you're with me. We're going to take a closer look." "But sir," his first officer protested, "regulations clearly state." "Regulations be damned." Vexler cut him off. "We might be sitting on the greatest discovery of the age. I'm not about to let some desk-bound administrator take the credit." As Vexler and Zalter made their way to the shuttle bay, Neither of them could shake the feeling that they were about to step into something far bigger than they could imagine. Little did they know, eyes were watching from the planet below. Eyes that belonged to a humanity that had not only survived but thrived, hidden from the stars that had once been their home. The game was about to begin, and the galaxy would never be the same. The stealth shuttle cut through Earth's atmosphere, its cloaking technology rendering it nearly invisible to both eye and sensor. Inside, Captain Vexilor and Science Officer Zalter peered at the ruined landscape below, a graveyard of fallen skyscrapers and overgrown highways. It appears the holographic record was accurate, Zalter murmured, her appendages dancing over the sensor controls. This civilization did suffer a cataclysmic event. Vexilor grunted in acknowledgement, his eyes fixed on the shuttle's viewscreen. Any signs of that energy signature we detected from orbit? Before Zalter could respond, the shuttle lurched violently. Alarms blared as systems flickered and died. What in the name of the Emperor's spawn is happening? Vexilor bellowed, his tentacles flailing for purchase. Zalter's compound eyes widened in panic. We've lost power. All systems are shutting down. The shuttle plummeted from the sky, its sleek form now nothing more than a falling rock. Vexilor braced for impact, his life flashing before his eyes. But instead of the bone-crushing collision he expected, the shuttle's descent slowed abruptly. They touched down with a gentle bump in a clearing among the ruins. As the dust settled, Vexilor and Zalter exchanged bewildered looks. Some kind of localized gravity manipulation, Zalter hypothesized, her scientific curiosity overriding her fear. A sharp hiss cut through the air as the shuttle's hatch opened of its own accord. Warm, humid air rushed in, carrying the scent of earth and vegetation. "We should leave," Zalter whispered urgently. "Whatever's out there, it's far more advanced than we anticipated." But Vexilor's ambition outweighed his caution. "Nonsense. This is the discovery of a lifetime. We press on." As they stepped out of the shuttle, the ruins around them seemed to shimmer and fade. The crumbling structures and overgrown paths melted away, revealing gleaming buildings and smooth roads. A bustling metropolis materialized before their eyes, teeming with bipedal beings going about their daily lives. "Incredible," Zalter breathed. "A holographic camouflage of unprecedented scale." Vexilor reached out to touch a passing human, his tentacle passing right through the image. Not just camouflage, he realized. A warning. They're showing us what they're capable of. As if in response to his words, the holographic city vanished, leaving them once again surrounded by apparent ruin. But now, knowing what lay beneath the surface, Vexilor and Zalter could spot the inconsistencies. A flicker of movement in a broken window, a patch of grass that wasn't quite real. "We're being watched," Zalter said, her voice barely above a whisper. Miles below the surface, in a control room humming with advanced technology, a young human woman named Aria watched the alien visitors through countless hidden cameras. Her fingers flew over holographic interfaces, adjusting the surface holograms and monitoring the aliens' every move. "What do you think, Dr. Chen?" she asked the older man standing behind her. "Should we make contact?" Dr. Chen, his face lined with the wisdom of humanity's long struggle, shook his head. "Not yet. Let them wonder. Let them fear. It's time we turned the tables on those who would seek to conquer us." Aria nodded, a mischievous glint in her eye. With a few deft commands, she accessed the alien shuttle systems. It was child's play for her, the Empire's vaunted technology, no match for the quantum computers that were commonplace in their underground cities. Back on the surface, Vexilor and Zalter cautiously made their way back to their shuttle, the weight of unseen eyes heavy upon them. "Perhaps we should return to the ship," Zalter suggested, her earlier excitement now tempered by trepidation. Vexilor nodded reluctantly. "Agreed. We need to report this tow." He froze mid-sentence as they entered the shuttle. There, floating above the main console, was a holographic message. Alien symbols shifted and changed, finally resolving into Zarkonian script. "Well, see you to Earth. tread lightly. As the message faded, the shuttle system sprang back to life. Vexlor and Zalter hurried to their seats, eager to put some distance between themselves and this mysterious world. But as they lifted off, neither of them noticed the tiny quantum transmitter now nestled deep within the shuttle circuitry. Humanity had just taken its first step back onto the galactic stage, and the Zarkonian Empire had unwittingly provided them with a direct line into the heart of their operations. The game of shadows had begun, and humanity was already several moves ahead. Grand Admiral Zexora's tentacles writhed with barely contained fury as she glared at the holographic display of Captain Vexlor's report. The Zarkonian Empire had conquered 1,000 worlds, subjugated countless species, and yet here was a scout captain babbling about holographic cities and invisible watchers. So let me understand this clearly. Zexora's voice dripped with sarcasm. You believe this backwater planet, which has shown no signs of civilization for millennia, is suddenly home to a technologically advanced species that rivals or even surpasses our own. Vexlor's image flickered slightly, a result of the vast distance between his ship and the Imperial capital. With all due respect, Grand Admiral, I know what I saw. The holograms, the energy fields, the message left on our shuttle. Enough. Zexora slammed a tentacle on her console, cutting off the transmission. She turned to her advisors, a group of the Empire's most decorated military minds. Opinions. Admiral Krelith, a veteran of 100 campaigns, spoke first. It's clearly a trick, some remnant of ancient technology triggered by our probes. These humans are likely long dead, their planet ripe for the taking. I concur, added General Voss, his exoskeleton clicking as he shifted. We've seen similar defensive mechanisms on other worlds. Impressive, but ultimately harmless. Zexora nodded, her earlier anger fading into smug confidence. Then we shall proceed as planned. Prepare a diplomatic envoy. If there are survivors, they will submit or be crushed. If not, we claim their world and its technology for the glory of the Empire. Little did they know, every word of their conversation was being monitored in real time, decoded and translated by quantum computers far beyond their comprehension. Miles beneath Earth's surface, in a vast chamber that served as humanity's global command center, Aria couldn't help but smirk as she relayed the intercepted transmission to the United Earth Council. They're sending a diplomatic mission, she air-quoted, her holographic avatar flickering before the assembled leaders. ETA is 3 standard days. Dr. Chen, now revealed as the Council's chief strategist, stroked his beard thoughtfully. They're underestimating us. Good. Let's use that to our advantage. Agreed, said President Kira Yamamoto, her weathered face a map of the centuries humanity had spent preparing for this moment. What's the status of Project Trojan? A holographic display sprang to life in the center of the chamber, showing a swarm of microscopic robots. The nanites are ready, reported Dr. Eliana Cortez, head of Advanced Weapons Research. One pulse from these babies will fry every piece of Zarkonian tech within a 1,000-kilometer radius. And the bait? Yamamoto pressed. Aria's avatar grinned. Already in place. I've left a trail of breadcrumbs in their systems. They think they've discovered an ancient human database that points to a cache of advanced technology in the Gobi Desert. Chen nodded approvingly. Excellent. They'll be so focused on claiming this non-existent prize that they won't see the trap until it's too late. As the Council continued to fine-tune their plans, on the other side of the galaxy, the Zarkonian diplomatic fleet prepared for departure. The flagship, a massive vessel named Imperial Truth, gleamed in the light of twin suns, its weapons barely concealed beneath a veneer of civility. Ambassador Zalgor, a shrewd politician, known for his silver tongue and iron will, addressed his crew. We go to bring the light of the Empire to a lost world, he proclaimed, his voice resonating through the ship's corridors. These humans, should they exist, will be given a choice. Join us and prosper, or resist and perish. A cheer went up from the assembled Zarkonians, their confidence bolstered by millennia of unchallenged dominance. They saw their mission as a mere formality, another footnote in the Empire's glorious history of expansion. As the fleet jumped to hyperspace, a single quantum particle, entangled with its twin on Earth, flickered in response. The trap was set, the stage prepared. Humanity watched and waited, ready to show the galaxy that the age of easy conquests was over. The Empire's folly was about to become humanity's greatest triumph, and the Zarkonians were flying straight into the jaws of a trap centuries in the making. The Zarkonian flagship Imperial Truth dropped out of hyperspace with a flash of exotic particles, its sleek form casting a shadow over the blue-green planet below. Ambassador Zalgur stood on the bridge, his four eyes narrowing as he studied the supposedly primitive world. Curious, he mused, tentacles twitching. "I see no signs of the advanced civilization," Captain Vexlor reported. The ship's AI chirped a response. "Scans detect ruins consistent with a collapsed industrial society, Ambassador. However, there's an unusual energy signature emanating from a region humans once called the Gobi Desert." Zalgur's mouthparts clicked in satisfaction. "The cache of ancient technology. Excellent. Prepare a landing party." As the Zarkonians busied themselves with descent preparations, they remained blissfully unaware of the quantum-entangled particles monitoring their every move and transmitting data back to Earth's hidden command center. Deep beneath the planet's surface, Aria's fingers danced over holographic controls. "They've taken the bait," she reported, a hint of excitement in her voice. "Landing party en route to the designated coordinates." Dr. Chen nodded, his eyes never leaving the massive display showing the Zarkonian ship's approach. "Activate the holograms. Let's give our guests a proper welcome." As the Zarkonian shuttle broke through the cloud cover, the barren landscape below shimmered and transformed. The endless dunes of the Gobi gave way to the ruins of a vast, futuristic city. At its center stood a gleaming spire, seemingly untouched by time. Ambassador Zalgur's eyes widened at the sight. "By the Emperor's tentacles," he whispered. "It's true. The lost human civilization." The shuttle touched down near the base of the spire. As Zalgur and his team disembarked, clad in environmental suits, the air around them seemed to ripple with unseen energy. "Ambassador," one of the science officers called out, "I'm detecting complex data streams emanating from the structure. It appears to be some sort of library or database." Zalgur's enthusiasm overrode his caution. "Download everything. The Empire will not be denied this treasure trove of knowledge." As the Zarkonians connected their devices to the apparent database, lines of code invisible to their sensors began to infiltrate their systems. Aria's carefully crafted AI virus slipped past their firewalls like a ghost, spreading through their network with terrifying efficiency. Back on the Imperial Truth, alarms began to blare. The ship's AI, usually a bastion of cool logic, seemed to stutter and glitch. "Warning, unknown program debt detected. SICE systems compromised." On the bridge, chaos erupted as control panels flickered and died. The ship's weapons powered down, life support systems faltered, and the engines went offline. In a matter of minutes, the pride of the Zarkonian fleet was reduced to a floating hulk. Meanwhile, on Earth's surface, Ambassador Zalgur and his team found themselves surrounded by a shimmering energy field. The holographic ruins faded away, revealing a vast, empty desert. From the sand rose sleek, unmanned combat drones, their weapons trained on the stunned Zarkonians. A voice, seemingly coming from the air itself, addressed them in perfect Zarkonian. "Ambassador Zalgur, I presume. Welcome to Earth. We apologize for the deception, but we needed to level the playing field." Before Zalgur could respond, he felt a strange tingling sensation. Looking down, he saw swarms of microscopic robots covering his environmental suit, disabling its systems. "Don't be alarmed," the voice continued, a hint of amusement evident. Those nanites are simply ensuring you'll be comfortable breathing our air. We have much to discuss. As the force field dissipated, a sleek aircraft descended from the clouds. Its ramp extended, revealing a delegation of humans led by President Yamamoto herself. "Ambassador," she said, her voice firm, but not unkind, "I believe it's time we renegotiate the terms of our relationship with the Zarkonian Empire. Your ship is disabled, your weapons are useless, and we now have access to your entire database. But fear not. We're not conquerors like you. We're offering something far more valuable. A partnership of equals." Zalgor, his grand plans in shambles, could only stare in disbelief. In the span of an hour, the humans had utterly outmaneuvered an empire that had stood unchallenged for millennia. As the implications sank in, he realized that the galaxy as he knew it would never be the same again. The Trojan horse had worked perfectly, and humanity was ready to take its place among the stars. The news of the Zarkonian Empire's humiliation spread through the galaxy like wildfire, transmitted through shadowy networks, and whispered in the darkest corners of space stations. On Zarkon Prime, the capital world of the Empire, the Imperial Palace was in uproar. Grand Admiral Zexora paced furiously, her tentacles lashing out at unfortunate aides who ventured too close. "How?" she snarled. "How could a single primitive world bring our mightiest ship to its knees?" Her advisors cowered, none daring to speak until General Voss stepped forward, his exoskeleton clicking nervously. "The humans, they're not what we thought, Grand Admiral. Reports suggest technology far beyond our own." Zexora's eyes narrowed dangerously. "Impossible. No species could advance so quickly without our knowledge." As the Zarkonian leadership grappled with their new reality, the ripples of Earth's victory reached the farthest corners of the galaxy. On Nix-9, a mining colony on the edge of Empire space, a group of enslaved Andromedans gathered in secret, their bioluminescent skin dimmed to avoid detection. "Did you hear?" whispered Zora, her tendrils quivering with excitement. "A new species called humans defeated an entire Zarkonian fleet without firing a shot." Kex, the oldest of the group, raised a skeptical eyebrow ridge. "Sounds like another false hope, Zora. We've heard such tales before." But Lear, a young hacker who had tapped into the colony's restricted communications, shook her head. "It's true. I've seen the encrypted transmissions. The Empire is in panic mode." As hope bloomed in the hearts of the oppressed, back on Earth, the United Earth Council was in session. The holographic chamber hummed with energy as representatives from every nation debated their next move. President Yamamoto stood at the center, her voice carrying authority earned through centuries of leadership. "We've revealed ourselves to the galaxy, but this is just the beginning. The Zarkonians won't take this lying down." Dr. Chen nodded gravely. "Indeed. Our intelligence suggests they're already planning retaliation. But they're not our only concern." He gestured, and a galactic map sprang to life, dotted with countless points of light. "We're receiving signals from oppressed worlds throughout Zarkonian space. They're looking to us as liberators." Aria, her avatar flickering with excitement, chimed in. "This is our chance. We can build a coalition, turn the Empire's subjugated worlds against them, and risk all-out war," countered General Santos, his weathered face creased with concern. "We may have surprised them once, but the Empire's resources are vast." As the debate raged, Ambassador Zalgor, still on Earth as a guest, watched with a mixture of awe and trepidation. The humans' technology was beyond anything he had imagined, their strategic acumen sharper than the Empire's best. But it was their passion, their drive for justice that truly unsettled him. In a lull in the discussion, Zalgor cleared his throat. All eyes turned to him, some suspicious, others curious. "If I may," he began cautiously, "you underestimate the impact of your actions. Yes, the Empire is vast and powerful, but it is also rigid, resistant to change. What you've done, it's a spark that could ignite a revolution." President Yamamoto studied the ambassador thoughtfully. And where would you stand in such a revolution, Ambassador? Zalgor's tentacles writhed as he considered. Finally, he straightened. Decision made. I've seen what you're capable of. More importantly, I've seen your restraint. You could have destroyed us, but you offered partnership instead. Perhaps it's time for the Empire to evolve. As Zalgor's words hung in the air, on countless worlds across the galaxy, beings of all species huddled around receivers, hungry for news of the mysterious humans. In dimly lit taverns and opulent palaces alike, one question echoed. Who are these humans, and what will they do next? The balance of power was shifting. Earth, long hidden and dormant, had awakened, and the galaxy would never be the same. In the depths of space, unnoticed by both humans and Zarkonians, an ancient probe stirred to life. Its makers long gone, it dutifully recorded and transmitted a simple message to the cold void. New power detected. Designation: humanity. Threat level: maximum. The galactic stage was set, and humanity's next move would determine the fate of civilizations. In a hidden laboratory deep beneath the Himalayan mountains, Dr. Ileana Cortez stood before a shimmering field of quantum particles, her eyes gleaming with triumph. It's ready, she announced to the holographic figures of the Earth Council. Project Entanglement is operational. President Yamamoto leaned forward, her avatar flickering slightly. Explain it to us one more time, Doctor. What exactly are we dealing with here? Dr. Cortez gestured, and a complex diagram appeared in the air. Simply put, we've created a galaxy-wide quantum communication network. Instantaneous, unhackable, and completely undetectable by conventional means. General Santos whistled low. That's a game changer. The Zarkonians won't know what hit them. More than that, Aria chimed in, her young face alight with excitement. We can use this to coordinate with resistance movements across the Empire. We'll be 10 steps ahead at all times. As the Council debated the implications, light years away on the planet Nix-9, Zara the Andromedan felt a strange tingling in her neural pathways. A voice, clear as crystal yet impossible to hear with ears, spoke directly into her mind. People of Nix-9, it said, this is Earth. We bring you hope and the means to secure your freedom. You are not alone. Across the galaxy, on thousands of worlds, similar messages were received. Oppressed species who had long ago lost hope suddenly found themselves connected, coordinated, and armed with knowledge that could topple an empire. On Zarkon Prime, Grand Admiral Zexora stared in disbelief at the reports flooding in. Slave revolts, mass defections, critical systems failing, all happening simultaneously across the empire. Impossible, she sputtered, her tentacles writhing in agitation. How are they coordinating on this scale? Her aide, a young officer named Vexmar, cleared his throat nervously. There are rumors, Admiral, of some kind of faster-than-light communication. The humans. Zexora spat. Always these insufferable humans. Ready the fleet. We'll crush these upstarts once and for all. But even as she gave the order, Zexora felt a creeping doubt. The Empire had always relied on its ability to divide and conquer, to keep its subjugated worlds isolated and ignorant. If they could communicate instantly, coordinate their efforts. Back on Earth, Ambassador Zalgor watched the unfolding events with a mixture of awe and trepidation. He'd thrown his lot in with the humans, convinced by their show of power and mercy. Now, seeing the full extent of their capabilities, he wondered if he'd underestimated them yet again. Your quantum network, he said, addressing Dr. Cortez. It's not just a communication tool, is it? It's a weapon. Dr. Cortez smiled enigmatically. Ambassador, in the right hands, information is the most powerful weapon of all. As they spoke, the quantum network hummed with activity. Resistance leaders exchanged strategies, slaves planned uprisings, and defectors shared critical intelligence about Empire weaknesses. Earth, once hidden and alone, had become the nexus of a galactic revolution. But amidst the celebration, Dr. Chen noticed something odd in the quantum fluctuations. "Area," he called out. "Are you seeing this?" Aria's avatar appeared, her brow furrowed in concentration. "Yes, there's another signal piggybacking on our network. It's incredibly subtle, but it's definitely not one of ours." As they worked to isolate the anomaly, a message began to take shape. The language was like nothing they'd ever seen, but the intent was clear. "We have witnessed your ascension. The great trial approaches. Prepare." President Yamamoto's face grew grave. "It seems we're not the only players in this game. Doctor, can you trace the signal?" Dr. Cortez shook her head. "It's already gone. But whatever sent it, it's orders of magnitude more advanced than even our quantum tech." A heavy silence fell over the room. They had changed the face of the galaxy, toppled an empire with a whisper, but now it seemed they had attracted the attention of something far beyond their understanding. In the vast depths of space, ancient machines stirred to life, their purpose long forgotten by the living. The humans had passed the first test, but the true challenge was yet to come. The quantum gambit had succeeded beyond their wildest dreams, but it had also catapulted humanity onto a cosmic stage they never knew existed. The next move would determine not just the fate of Earth or the Zarkonian Empire, but possibly the future of the entire galaxy. The quantum realm shimmered with activity as Aria's consciousness darted through streams of data. In the physical world, her body lay motionless in a Neuralink pod, her mind fully immersed in Earth's digital defenses. Suddenly, a surge of malicious code erupted from nowhere. "We're under attack." Aria's voice echoed through the command center. "The Zarkonians have launched a massive cyber attack on our systems." Dr. Chen's fingers flew over holographic controls. "Impossible. How did they breach our quantum firewalls?" On the main screen, a visualization of Earth's digital infrastructure blazed with red warning signals. Critical systems worldwide began to falter, power grids flickered, transportation networks glitched, and communication satellites fell silent. President Yamamoto's voice crackled over the comms. "Status report. How bad is it?" Before anyone could respond, a familiar face materialized on the screen. Grand Admiral Zexora, her tentacles writhing with smug satisfaction. "Humans," she sneered, "did you really think we would fall so easily? You may have your quantum tricks, but we have had millennia to perfect the art of cyber warfare. Surrender now, or watch your civilization crumble." As panic began to spread, Aria's avatar reappeared, her digital form pulsing with determination. "Don't count us out yet, squid face," she snarled. Initiating Prometheus Protocol. Deep within Earth's quantum mainframe, a dormant AI stirred to life. Created by Aria as a last line of defense, Prometheus was an artificial intelligence unlike any other, adaptive, intuitive, and imbued with the collective knowledge and creativity of humanity. In the digital realm, Aria stood before a towering figure of swirling light and data. "Prometheus," she said, "we need you. The fate of humanity hangs in the balance." The AI's voice resonated through the quantum network. "I am ready, Creator. Let the battle of minds begin." What followed was a conflict beyond human comprehension. In the span of microseconds, Prometheus analyzed, adapted, and counterattacked. It predicted Zarkonian strategies before they were implemented, created and discarded millions of countermeasures in the blink of an eye. In the physical world, the Earth Council watched in awe as the visualization of their digital infrastructure transformed. The red warning signals were being systematically replaced by a radiant blue glow, spreading like wildfire through the system. Grand Admiral Zexora's smug expression faltered. What is happening? Our viruses, our best eye, they're being obliterated." Aria's avatar grinned fiercely. "You're not the only ones who can play this game, Admiral. Meet Prometheus, humanity's digital champion." As Prometheus pushed back the Zarkonian assault, it began to turn the tables. The AI didn't just defend. It attacked, infiltrating the Empire's systems with terrifying efficiency. On Zarkon Prime, chaos erupted. Weapons systems shut down, fleet coordinates scrambled, and the entire planetary defense grid went dark. In the Imperial Palace, screens flickered to life unbidden, displaying a simple message in Zarkonian script: checkmate. Back on Earth, the command center erupted in cheers. Dr. Chen embraced Aria as she emerged from the Neuralink pod, exhausted but triumphant. "You did it," he whispered. Prometheus was a masterstroke. But their celebration was short-lived. Alarms blared as a new signal cut through the quantum noise, the same mysterious message they had detected earlier, but stronger now, more insistent. "We have witnessed your trial by fire. The true test approaches. The fate of galaxies hangs in the balance." As the message faded, Prometheus's voice echoed through the facility. "Creators, I have analyzed the signal. Its origin is beyond the boundaries of our known universe." A heavy silence fell over the room. They had won the battle against the Zarkonians, a victory beyond their wildest dreams. But it seemed that this was merely a prelude to a greater conflict, one that spanned realities they had yet to comprehend. President Yamamoto's voice cut through the silence. "Well," she said, a hint of wry humor in her tone, "it seems the universe has higher expectations of us than we thought. Dr. Chen, Aria, it's time to take Prometheus to the next level. Whatever's coming, humanity will be ready." As the Earth Council mobilized for this new unknown threat, out in the vast expanse of space, ancient machines stirred. The stage was set for a confrontation that would reshape the very fabric of reality. Humanity had proven its worth in the cosmic arena. Now, it was time to face the ultimate challenge. The war room of the United Earth Defense Force buzzed with tension. Holographic displays showed the approaching Zarkonian armada, a last desperate attempt by the dying empire to reassert its dominance. But the human leaders gathered their war expressions not of fear, but of grim determination. President Yamamoto's voice cut through the murmur of voices. "It's time. Initiate Project Starforge." Dr. Chen nodded, his fingers dancing over a quantum interface. "Activating now. Prometheus, are you ready?" The AI's serene voice filled the room. "Affirmative, Dr. Chen." Starforge protocols engage, calculating optimal stellar manipulation vectors. On screens around the room, a real-time view of the solar system appeared. As they watched, the sun began to pulse with an otherworldly energy. Streams of plasma arced out into space, coalescing into shapes that defied conventional physics. Out in the void, aboard the Zarkonian flagship, Grand Admiral Zexora watched the approaching solar system with a mixture of anticipation and dread. Victory was so close, the human homeworld, the source of all her humiliation, was within reach. But something was wrong. Her sensors screamed warnings as the star at the center of the system began to behave in impossible ways. "What trickery is this?" she snarled. "Magnify the star." Now, as the image zoomed in, Zexora's blood ran cold. The humans weren't just manipulating their star, they were creating new ones. Miniature suns blossomed in the space between planets, each one a fusion-powered defensive platform that outclassed anything in the Zarkonian arsenal. Back on Earth, Aria's hands flew over her console. "Starforge network is online. We have full coverage of the solar system. The Zarkonian fleet is trapped." President Yamamoto's eyes narrowed. "Open a channel to Grand Admiral Zexora. It's time to end this." Zexora's face appeared on the main screen, her expression a mask of fury and disbelief. Before she could speak, Yamamoto cut in. "Grand Admiral, your invasion ends here. We've tolerated your aggression, your slavery, your tyranny. No more. Behold the power of Starforge, our ability to create and move stars at will. Your fleet is surrounded. Surrender now, or we'll be forced to demonstrate the full extent of our capabilities." For a moment, silence reigned. Then, a new voice cut through the tension. Ambassador Zalgor, who had remained on Earth as a liaison. "Grand Admiral," he said, his voice heavy with emotion, "I've seen what these humans can do. Their power, yes, but also their restraint. Their compassion. The empire we've built is crumbling, but they offer us a chance at something greater. Please, end this madness." Zexora's tentacles writhed in agitation. "You expect me to believe?" Her words were cut short as one of the Starforge suns pulsed. A carefully controlled burst of energy lanced out, vaporizing an uninhabited moon. The display of power was unmistakable. In that moment, millennia of Zarkonian imperial ambition crumbled. Zexora's shoulders slumped in defeat. We surrender. Unconditionally." As the news spread across the galaxy, celebrations erupted on countless worlds. The Zarkonian Empire, which had seemed eternal and unassailable, had fallen. And humanity, once dismissed as primitive, stood triumphant. But even as the cheers echoed through the war room, a familiar otherworldly signal pulsed through the quantum network. The message was clearer now, more urgent. "You have passed the trial. The confluence approaches. All realities hang in the balance. Prepare, humans. Your greatest challenge awaits." President Yamamoto turned to her team, her expression resolute. "It seems our journey is far from over. Dr. Chen, Area, Ambassador Zalagor, we have a galaxy to rebuild and a multiverse to save. Are you with me?" As voices raised in affirmation, Earth's Starforge network glimmered with potential. Humanity had faced extinction and emerged victorious. They had toppled an empire and reshaped the stars themselves. Whatever cosmic challenge awaited, they would face it together. Humans, Ayas, and former enemies united. The universe had underestimated them for the last time. In the depths of space, beyond the boundaries of known reality, ancient entities stirred. The next act in the cosmic drama was about to begin, and humanity was ready to take center stage. The age of humanity had dawned, and the multiverse would never be the same.